Hello listeners, welcome to our edit program. On our program today, we present chemistry for Form 2 students. Our topic today is structure and bonding and our teacher is Mr. Dennis Wangio. Stay tuned to the program.
Hello Form 2 students, welcome to today's program. I am Mr. Dennis Wangio. With me in studio today are three radio students. There is Sham, Abdimalik, and Nuru. The students are all wearing masks and we've made sure that there is enough social distance between them. This is a safety measure in regard to the COVID-19 pandemic. Students, say hello to our listeners at home.
Hello
listeners.
Okay, we are going to begin our program today by defining the word a chemical bond. When atoms of the same or different elements combine during a chemical reaction, a mutual force of attraction develops between them. The mutual force of attraction holds the particles together and is called a chemical bond. The chemical bonds hold the particles of a substance together in a regular pattern called a structure. Whereas noble gases have an octet or a duplet configuration and are chemically stable and do not take part in chemical reactions, while atoms of other elements achieve a stable electron configuration of noble gases by gaining, losing, or sharing valence electrons. Loss of valence electrons results to formation of cations, while gaining of valence electrons results to formation of anions. Before we continue, I need us to define the terms cations, anions. Sham, could you please define for us the term ion?
An ion is a charged particle formed when an atom loses or gains electron.
Correct. That is very good, Sham. Next, Abdimalik, please distinguish between the terms cation and anion.
Positively charged particles are called cations, while negatively charged particles are called anions.
Excellent work. So we can agree that when the charged particles are positive, they are called cations, while those that are negative are referred to as anions. Nuru, could you please elaborate further on how cations and anions are formed?
During a chemical reaction, atom of metal reacts by losing electron from the outermost energy level, forming cation. While on other hand, non-metal generally reacts by gaining electron into the outermost energy level, hence forming an ion. For example, a reaction between sodium and chlorine involves transfer of one electron from sodium to chlorine. Hence, sodium loses one electron, forming sodium ion, while chlorine atom gain one electron from sodium, forming chloride ion.
Very good work, Nuru. Please keep it up. That was an excellent presentation. Before we move ahead, I wish to remind you to stay safe, keep social distance, and always wear a mask when you are out there.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Noro. Not forgetting to sanitize when from social places.
Yeah, we are reminded by Malik that we are supposed to sanitize when we are at social places and maybe when we leave also some social places. Good. Now we need to explore the terms valence and valency. The chart above shows atoms of elements in group 1, 2, 3, 7, and group 8. Their atomic numbers, their electron configuration, the valence and valency. The resulting ions are also grouped into cations and ions, and therefore we need to explore the definitions of the words, the two words that we've just mentioned, that is valency and valence. Valency refers to the number of electrons lost or gained during a chemical reaction. It is also known as a combining power. Elements in group 1 have a valence of 1, and those in group 2 have a valency of 2. On the other hand, valence refers to electrons in the outermost energy level. They are used to predict the valency. Example, sodium has 1 valence electron, while chlorine has 7 valence electrons. Students, using the chart above, state the valence and valency of potassium, calcium, oxygen, and nitrogen.
Sodium valency is 1 with 1 valence electron. Calcium has a valency of 2 with 2 valence electrons, while aluminium has a valency of 3 with 3 valence electrons.
Correct. That's very good, Sham.
Oxygen has valency 2 with 6 valence electrons, while fluorine has a valence of 3 with 5 valence electrons.
That's excellent work, Nuru. We realize from the two students that have spoken that you can easily identify the valency of an element by looking at how many electrons the atom will lose or gain. For example, Sham mentioned to us that the valency of sodium is 1 and the valence is also 1. So sodium has 1 electron in the outermost shell, and it also loses 1 electron during a reaction. On the other hand, also, calcium has 2 electrons in the outermost shell, and the 2 electrons are the ones that are lost during a reaction, and therefore the valency is 2. Nuru tried to elaborate the valency and valence in the non-metallic atoms. For example, we mentioned that in oxygen, which has 6 valence electrons, the valency happens to be 2 because oxygen gains 2 electrons, and therefore the valency is 2. In fluorine, which is in the same class as chlorine, they have 7 valence electrons, but the valency is 1 since they gain 1 electron in a chemical reaction. That was a perfect explanation from the two students, and I want us to proceed to the next Okay, I want us to explore what we've done today in summary. 1, we have explored all definitions in terms of a chemical reaction, and as stated earlier, for a chemical reaction to take place, atoms will either gain, lose, or share electrons. During a chemical reaction, the electrons that are involved are majorly valence electrons. Due to this fact, we have 3 major types of chemical bonds that we will be covering. These are the ionic bond, the covalent bond, and the metallic bonds. We will cover these during our next lesson. Remember our class today, we defined a chemical bond and structure. We also reviewed the definition of ions, cations, and anions. Lastly, we explored the difference between valency and valence. One point that I will encourage you to note is that a chemical reaction only involves valence electrons and not the other inner electrons or electrons found in the inner circle. So we shall only be considering the electrons that are found in the outermost shell. Students, anyone with a question?
Thanks
Thanks very much, sir, and may you stay safe.
Very good. Make sure you go through what we did today and prepare for the next class.
Thanks, our listeners. In our program today, the teacher covered an introduction to structure and bonding, and hopefully during our next lesson, we will cover the types of bonds. Don't miss until such a time and day. Goodbye, and may you have a wonderful weekend.